The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Lily Winters may kiss Holden Novak as discouraged hearts collide. Will Kane Ashby end up fuming over this hot twist? Lily recently spied Phyllis Summers stealing a smooch from Kane, but he downplayed it as another one of Phyllis's games. Kane acted like he was working an angle with Phyllis and launched another Lily reunion attempt, but Lily pushed him too far in the end. After facing so many rejections from Lily, Kane ultimately realized he'd never be good enough for her and turned his full attention to Phyllis instead. The week of November 17th, 21st will really bring the heat between Phyllis and Kane. It looks like Kane and Phyllis are going to land in bed together, so they'll step out of the business associate and friend zone. However, Lily will start to have second thoughts about repeatedly pushing Kane away. After Lily finally recognizes that Kane's truly been trying to fix things, she'll perhaps see that she's judged him too harshly. Of course, Kane and Phyllis's bedroom development could rattle Lily if she gets updates. Lily may rethink things once again and wonder about Kane's true feelings if he could ditch her for Phyllis so fast. Kane went from fighting hard for a Lily reunion to surrendering to Phyllis the same night, so that may give Lily pause once again. Meanwhile, we've got Holden, who'll be feeling a little used and rejected by Claire Newman. Claire was all about having fun with Holden in Los Angeles, but she pulled back after their night together and his confession about what went down with Audra Charles. Once Claire clarifies that she doesn't want a new romance with Holden and may not even want to go to bed with him again, he'll be feeling some tough emotions along with Lily. It's easy to see why Lily and Holden will feel like kindred spirits in Y&R's November 19th episode. Holden and Lily will do some bonding, so they might share some drinks and vent to each other a bit. Since Kane was so quick to sizzle with Phyllis, will Lily do the same with Holden? We could certainly imagine Lily kissing Holden in the heat of the moment, so Kane might walk in just in time to see it and fume. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Holden and Lily have a bonding session coming up no matter what, so stay tuned for any other romantic news that might develop. Last week on The Young and the Restless, Tessa returned to Genoa City, once again devastated in the wake of another rejection from Mariah. She attempted to visit her wife at the Boston clinic, but she was turned away by doctors who claimed Mariah wasn't accepting any visitors. Tessa appeared to reach a breaking point regarding her marriage and went so far as to mention the word divorce when speaking to Daniel about the situation. After months of trying to break through to Mariah, Tessa'S lost all hope of reaching her, believing her marriage to be past the point of no return. Daniel has been a consistent shoulder for Tessa to lean on during the entire ordeal, and the two recently slept together after a night of drinking at the GCAC. Although Tessa admitted she didn't regret what they had done, at the time, she told Daniel that she remained married to Mariah and loved her wife, planning to reconcile. However, the latest rejection from Mariah left Tessa singing a different tune to Daniel. This time, it appears to be paving the way for a future between the pair. It's safe to say that viewers are not taking kindly to the idea of one of the only same-sex couples in daytime being torn apart for the sake of pairing Tessa and Daniel together. Fans are not pleased, and they aren't shy about expressing that across social media. The one thing I always thought I could rely on with Boyar was Mariah and Tessa as a couple, and now they are being ripped apart, which as a queer viewer is so incredibly hurtful. Taraya, one viewer shared. Nothing is going to make sense until Tessa and Mariah can have a proper discussion. JG doesn't want them saying more than a few words to each other for some damn reason. YR, another fan wrote. Do you guys think Tessa should stop crying on Daniel's shoulder, knowing how he feels about her? If Mariah all of a sudden wants to fight for her marriage, Daniel is going to get hurt. #Young and the Restless, a viewer tweeted. Chemistry doesn't matter to JG. Look what he's done to Mariah and Tessa. Their chemistry is top tier, and no other couple on that show even comes close to matching it. He is trying to recreate the same chemistry between Daniel and Tess, and it is not working. Taraya, one fan stated. I also think it's over. I honestly don't even know if I care anymore. What really gets to me is them painting Mariah as a monster, while Tessa and Daniel are living out a love story, a viewer posted. They knew how strong Mariah and Tessa's relationship was. They had to really destroy them to get Dan a story, really. We see it. The sad part is that you could have made a difference, but chose not to, one fan said. How much is Tessa supposed to take? How long can we expect Tessa to hold on before she truly has to let Mariah go? A viewer questioned. No Mariah spoilers, but I'd be surprised if Mariah didn't show up to the wedding. It only makes sense that she would show up just as Tessa is about to call it quits, one fan predicted. Why isn't Tessa doing the same? Fight more to help Mariah, a viewer asked. The only couple that had chemistry was Mariah and Tessa, and that definitely is the writing. Now Tessa has to pretend to have chemistry with this guy who is her friend. We shall see what happens, because the chemistry is not there. We are Mariah, a disheartened viewer shared. The last time viewers physically saw Mariah, she was being tormented by what she believed to be a hallucination of Ian Ward. However, viewers knew that Ian survived being shot by Victor, so there's a high likelihood that he's somehow involved in keeping her locked up in the Boston clinic for longer than she needs to be there. The doctors are the ones calling the shots about the level of communication that Mariah can have, so if Ian's actually there, it's likely he's the one making a calculated effort to shut Tessa out. Tessa, on the other hand, has nothing but time on her side to grow closer to Daniel. Not only are they both attending Danny and Christine's pending nuptials, but they're scheduled to perform at the event in some capacity. With Mariah located across the country, the pair has the means and opportunity to deepen their burgeoning connection. However, despite Tessa's insistence that divorce is the only option left, Mariah's return to town would instantly complicate things. It's entirely possible that Mara will return in the 11th hour and look to reclaim her marriage, finding herself in an unexpected power struggle for Tessa's affection. Regardless of the outcome, viewers on social media are incensed by the audacity to split one of their favorite couples. Another maddening aspect of the storyline is its inconsistent airing schedule. A lot happens off-camera, including Tessa and Daniel's quest for answers, and Tessa's latest attempt to visit Mariah. Between the off-camera progressions and the show rarely running the beat, it's hard to remain invested, and the events unfolding on screen are less than ideal for a passionate and vocal fan base. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease that Audra Charles might manipulate Claire Newman into believing she's losing her grip on reality. Could Audra's adversary find herself doubting her own sanity due to a fresh scheme to undermine Claire? Audra was absolutely livid regarding Holden Novak's choice to reveal at least a portion of the events that transpired in Los Angeles. While Holden refrained from disclosing the most scandalous aspects of the tale, he did share the drama surrounding the stolen cashier's check, which inevitably stirred up some trouble for Audra. Nevertheless, Audra is determined not to show any signs of fear when Claire hurls threats her way in the episode airing on November 17th. Instead, Audra will retaliate with her own threats directed at Claire, making it abundantly clear that she is not someone to be trifled with. This confrontation will also serve as a reminder from Audra that Claire's past is far from pristine either. Audra will remind everyone about the time Claire attempted to take the lives of her entire family, which suggests that the show might be revisiting Claire's troubled past for a significant reason. Following a confrontation between Audra and Claire, the spoilers for Y&R indicate that Audra will engage in some serious brainstorming on November 19th. During this time, Audra will contemplate her next strategic move and likely devise plans to outmaneuver Claire. Given the current situation, this could present a perfect chance for a gaslighting storyline. With Claire's background of mental health issues, Audra might take advantage of this vulnerability. Attempting to convince Claire that she is losing her grip on reality. It wouldn't be too difficult for Audra to fabricate false evidence, perhaps suggesting that Jordan has mysteriously returned from the dead or something similar. Claire would absolutely lose her mind if she even entertained the thought that her devious Aunt Jordan had come back to wreak havoc on her and the loved ones she holds dear. Audra could easily manipulate Claire into believing this twisted scenario, effectively diverting her attention from all the Los Angeles drama that Audra desperately wants to keep hidden. At some point, Audra might even orchestrate a situation that makes it appear as though Claire has completely lost her grip on reality and has lashed out at her. Should Audra choose to pursue this vengeful strategy, she would undoubtedly discover numerous ways to portray Claire as spiraling into a troubling mental health crisis. Nevertheless, Audra is poised to make some significant changes to her approach against Claire, potentially unleashing some truly shocking news for her adversary. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for the week of November 17th, 2025. Fans can expect Sienna Bacall and Noah Newman to fall into a trap. Jack Abbott interrogates Nikki Newman. Plus, Danny Romalotti and Christine Cricket Blair's wedding day arrives. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Sienna and Noah. Fans know that Noah checked himself out of the hospital against medical advice. However, that was probably a good thing, as Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, ordered Detective Burrow to get rid of the security detail at the hospital. However, instead of going to his parents, Noah went to the shadow room. After meeting with Matt Schmitz, Sienna found Noah unconscious in the alley behind the club. Later in the week, Sienna and Noah both fall into a trap. As for Sharon Newman, she meant it when she threatened to take down Matt Schmitz if he went after her family. However, there is one twist that Sharon wasn't counting on. In a weekly preview clip, fire alarms go off in the hotel. When Sharon goes to run out the door, Matt Schmitz is standing there glaring at her. Meanwhile, Victor Newman helps Nick Newman go after Matt Schmitz. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for the week of November 17th, reveal that Danny and Christine's wedding day will arrive. Expect to see some returning faces, but could there also be some curveballs? Phyllis Summers and Kane Ashby get passionate as Lily Winters defends her ex-husband. Later, Lily commiserates with Holden Novak, who is down after Claire Grace Newman's rejection. I wonder if Holden and Lily could end up getting together. After all, they are both single. Of course, they both could regret that later on. Plus, Jack interrogates Nikki. The patriarch will likely want to know about the AI program, but Nikki won't be able to betray her husband. Speaking of Nikki, she gives Claire a history lesson. Meanwhile, Audra Charles plots her next move. Is this move going to be to hide her secret, or to go after Claire? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of November 17th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Sally Spectra is thriving in Genoa City on The Young and the Restless, but Courtney Hope admits she still thinks about the fiery redhead's bold life back in Los Angeles. Hope shared her thoughts in a recent interview with Soaps.com on whether she believes Sally stays in touch with anyone from the Bold and the Beautiful universe. And we love how much thought she's given to the idea. You know what's so funny? I was just thinking about this last week because Bold and Beautiful moved from the building, and I'm like, oh, I miss the family here, she says. Then I was thinking about Sally, and I was like, I wonder if Sally ever talks to Wyatt. He said, we need some time apart. You just need to go regroup. Hope reminisces about Sally's former life on the West Coast. And I thought, I wonder if I ever regrouped and got back in touch, you know? Wyatt and Sally may not have recovered from her fake medical emergency designed to win him back, but Hope thinks her character has earned a little more respect lately over the last few years in Genoa City. She knows that there are some grudges to be held against Sally, but she has hopes that she'd still be friends with Liam. Hope believes there's more to her Liam story, maybe one day in the future. There was really not that much explored with Liam. It was like, oh, we're potentially dying. Oh, I think I love you, which was so funny. But I understood it, she says of Sally avoiding a potentially dangerous run-in with Steffi, who was with Liam at the time. Sally doesn't want to die while she's sleeping because Steffi's powerful. Watch out, watch your back, she laughs. Then that was the end of it, and Wyatt came along, and I love Sally and Wyatt. I think that there is a possibility that she does still talk to them. And I hope she does, because she might need them for some connections in her future business endeavors. While there is no crossover currently planned for Sally to visit her friends and enemies, over on The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope is keeping her fingers crossed for a future storyline. It would create drama because there are definitely people who will hold grudges against her, Hope sums up. I think she's got some unfinished business with a lot of people over there, so you never know. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for the week of November 17th, 21st reveals that Claire Newman will get schooled while Nick Newman goes digging. Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, will also corner Sharon Newman, so there'll be a lot happening in Genoa City. First, Kane Ashby will cave in when it comes to his attraction to Phyllis Summers, so there'll be some hot moments in her room at the GCAC. Meanwhile, Lily Winters will finally start to understand Kane's perspective a bit better, but will this realization come too late? This whole sizzling mess with Kane and Phyllis could cause all kinds of problems. Lily will eventually do some commiserating with Holden Novak, who'll be dealing with romantic drama of his own. Although Holden was hoping to build something new with Claire Newman, she'll pump the brakes on him. Holden will also have to worry about Claire pestering him for more information on his past with Audra Charles. We'll see Holden deal with another grilling session and put a stop to Claire's next face-off with Audra too. However, Audra isn't the kind of gal who lets people push her around, especially someone like Claire. That's why Audra's going to plot her retaliation after Claire delivers some threats, but her move could backfire if she's not careful. In the meantime, Y&R spoilers say Claire will have some questions for Nikki Newman. It turns out Claire's going to get schooled on some history, so she might get updates on Matt Clark once news spreads about his return. Nikki may tell Claire some awful stories about how far Matt took things against Sharon, as well as Nick in the past. Although Matt always brings a horror show when he resurfaces, Sharon won't cower in fear when he corners her at her hotel room. Will Matt finally drop the Mitch act and show off his most sinister self? Regardless, Victor Newman will find out the latest Matt shockers and resolve to help Nick defeat him. After Victor helps with some plotting, Nick will search for intel that he can use against Matt in the coming episodes. As for Noah Newman and Sienna Bacall, they'll find themselves stuck in Matt's trap. Detective Burrow will apparently help Matt create a captivity situation, so Sienna and Noah may need some help escaping soon. On a happier note, Christine Blair and Danny Romalotti's nuptials will begin, so that'll bring some sweet moments and set the stage for a little wedding day drama. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Phyllis may not be able to resist stirring the pot, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Monday, November 17th reveals that Lily Winters will be Kane Ashby's new cheerleader while Holden Novak breaks up a fight. At the GCAC, Phyllis Summers will drink with Kane and assume something happened with Lily to change his mind about a fresh start. Phyllis will note that Kane changes his mind a lot and will wonder if he might change it once again, but he'll insist he's not going to. Despite Kane's plan to put Aristotle Dumas behind him, Phyllis will suspect the line has blurred so much that he doesn't know who he really is anymore. Phyllis won't have a problem with that and will think Kane should just let this blurred line happen. After Kane joins Phyllis up in her suite, they'll have a nightcap before he mulls over more accusations. Kane will wonder if Phyllis swiped the AI program with the intention of going after Arabesque for pennies on the dollar. Phyllis will maintain that she isn't behind the program theft, so Kane will move in close and play up his attraction to her. It'll leave Phyllis glad that she's got Kane's attention as they start kissing wildly. At Society, Lily will weird Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson out by suddenly becoming Kane's cheerleader and acting like he deserves a chance to prove himself. Adam will have a tough time buying that Kane has changed and will point out he wasn't exactly a Boy Scout before all the Dumas drama either. Although Lily will accuse Victor of the AI program theft, Adam will insist there's no proof and will keep the focus on Kane's own bad behavior. Lily will want the Newmans to back off Kane and let him heal his family. But Chelsea and Adam will act like Kane needs to end the conflict he started. Once Lily stomps over to the bar, she'll have some Kane flashbacks and leave him a voicemail that basically points to her torn heart. Lily will hint about needing time and won't be certain of how patient Kane can be as she hangs up. At the coffee house, Claire Newman will clear the air with Holden regarding Los Angeles. Although Claire enjoyed herself with Holden, she won't want to dive into a new relationship and won't know if they'll ever hit the sheets again. Claire will clarify that she's not getting back together with Kyle Abbott and that she doesn't judge Holden over his confession about what he did with Audra Charles. That said, Claire will look uneasy as she questions Holden about whether he regrets what happened with Audra. Holden won't seem like he really does, but he'll try to play it off as nervousness over Claire watching him like a hawk. Claire will eventually question if there was some part of the story that wasn't so neat and tidy. It'll leave Claire wondering if Holden would fill her in if that news. When Audra appears on Monday's Y&R episode, she'll taunt Claire about going from boring Kyle to Holden the player. Claire will hint about being able to make trouble for Audra with one phone call, but Audra will threaten to mess up Claire's pretty face as the fight escalates. Holden will play referee, but Claire will get the last word in when she hints about Holden needing to answer her earlier question. Claire will make things seem ominous for Audra before she exits with Holden. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra and Claire's feud is far from over, so we'll bring you updates on the next round of tension.